In today's episode, I just want to share some of my thoughts about the two searches we have going on here at St. Philip the Deacon. Stay tuned. Hello, friends. Pastor Tim Westermeyer here, Senior Pastor of St. Philip the Deacon in the western suburbs of Minneapolis. Good to be with you as always. Those of you who follow either this channel or are familiar with St. Philip the Deacon know that we have a couple of important openings coming up on our staff. One for our next pastor to join our team of 4 pastors, and one for our next organist. And so, as I indicated in both of our communications about those transitions, as Pastor Matheson retires and as Craig Winshittle moves on to a church of his upbringing, a Catholic church, which is the tradition he grew up in, I promised I would keep the congregation posted about sort of where things stand with those searches. And so this is just one sort of inflection point. No doubt there will be many of these in the weeks and months ahead, but I thought I would share with you sort of where we find ourselves this week. And I would say in both cases it's early days in those searches. For the organist search, you may have seen that on our website we have a page dedicated to that search, which outlines what we're looking for. It has a job description. It has an invitation for people to apply. We're going to invite those applicants through the middle of May. We've already received a number of applications. I have a feeling it will be a very attractive role for whoever God has in mind for our next organist. So as I've said before, if you have ideas about people you think should apply, then please direct them to the website, which we'll link below. I believe it's spdlc.org/organist search. So until we receive all of those applicants and then start sifting through them, there's not going to be a whole lot to report other than we are collecting applicants at this point and excited about the people who are reaching out to us to learn more about the opportunity. On the pastor search, we're in sort of full search mode. That's a different kind of search, which is about networking. It's about connecting to friends and colleagues, pastors, professors who might know of people who are looking for a new call as a pastor. So we have a lot of lines out there. I have personally been meeting with a whole lot of people, both potential candidates as well as people who might be aware of potential candidates. The executive team, which serves as our call committee in moments like this, and I have been in deep conversation about what we're looking for, what this next pastor should bring to the church, the cultural fit, and as we move ahead in that search, the candidates will also be meeting with other key staff from the church in order to sort of discern that sort of cultural fit and whether he or she is the right person. I guess bottom line, both searches are moving along in earnest, and they're going well. One thing I would say, I guess, just sort of philosophically about moments like this is that understandably, there's a sense of urgency about finding the right person to come onto our staff and join us for this next chapter of our life together. And so we are moving as quickly as we can on these. However, I would also underscore that it's critical in moments like this that we find the right person, not just a person. Whenever we have openings on our staff, the goal is to find someone who is exceptionally gifted, exceptionally talented, who will fit the culture of this place really well. And what that means is that if we have to wait a little bit longer, if we're not finding the right person quickly, then that's okay. And I want the whole congregation to hear that loud and clear. The goal is to find the right person, not just to sort of find a warm body to fill a role. And as I think about this, I'm reminded, and I think this was public, I don't think I'm sharing secrets here, we've talked a lot about some faith and life events over the last few weeks, both in church and here. there. Our very first Faith and Life speaker this past year was a gentleman named Mark Birch, whose title is Precentor of Westminster Abbey. I actually had the privilege of sitting down with him over breakfast when my wife Amy and I were in England last summer. And one of the things we talked about was a search they were in the midst of for another pastor for Westminster Abbey. After a number of months, they ended up, at that moment anyway, having just to sort of shut the search down and regroup because they weren't finding the right person. And I'm not even sure today if they've found that person yet. But that strikes me as the right approach, to allow God to bring us the right person at the right time. And all of us are invited to be patient as we wait for that right person rather than sort of force or rush the search. I hope that makes sense. I just sort of wanted to communicate where I am with all of this. And again, it's early days in both searches. I'm very optimistic about both of them. And I would invite you, obviously, to keep those searches in your prayers as we, again, wait to discern who this person is or people are who God is preparing to join this incredible, wonderful, healthy congregation that we call St. Philip the Deacon. So that's it for today. As always, be well, stay in touch, and God bless.